Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, as you can tell by the title, I am doing a video on do I have adult ADHD? Hey guys, I just want to start off by saying you are watching part 2 of my video, Do I Have ADHD? And so if you haven't watched that video, I will be linking that in, I'm not sure if it's here or here, but it will pop up here. And I'll also link it in the description because you will want to watch part 1 first, otherwise this part won't make as much sense. So this originally was only meant to be one video, but while I was editing it, I realized it was really a lot longer than I first anticipated it was going to be. And so that's why I broke it into 2 parts. So hope you enjoy part 2. Motivation. The motivation section, it says, difficulty getting started on activities in the absence of a deadline or despite a deadline. Yes. Taking shortcuts to reduce effort, resulting in sloppy work, penalties or disapproval from others. Sometimes. Generally I'm a perfectionist, so, and that's another thing that is like, I think, oh gosh, there's so much to do and I know I want to do it properly, so then I just kind of put off doing it. It says difficulty persisting with activities that require commitment or mental effort unless very interested. So I think there's some things that I really like. They do say that people with ADHD can like hyper focus, and so you can become like obsessed with things, and that's what I do all the time. So like with YouTube, like I'm really like obsessed with it. So I'm like, right, I need the best camera, I need this, and I do so much research on it, but then because of not being able to manage my time and procrastination and everything, then I feel like I can't get things done, and I set deadlines and then it all piles up and I can't ever get it done, and I set myself way too much that no one could ever finish, and then kids get in the way and whatever, and then I feel really down on myself and I feel like a failure, and so it's just, I feel like it's just a ride I just cannot get off of. Which comes into the next section. Time management, losing track of time and regularly running late, a poor sense of time. Yes, that's underestimating how long things will take. Double booking and overcommitting. I do that all the time because I can't remember what I've already planned and because I don't remember where I've written it down. Missing appointments or turning up late. I've done that before. I think a lot of these things I did maybe when I was a bit younger, and I've really tried hard to be on top of things, and now I know that I do struggle with it, and Simon knows that I struggle to remember appointments and stuff, so he'll generally put it where he knows he'll remember it and then he reminds me, which really isn't the best system, and I feel sorry for him, but that's how we've kind of been getting things done. Leaving things to do to the last minute. Failing to meet deadlines or requesting extensions. Yes, so especially with all my YouTube stuff, like every time I'll look up YouTube videos or whatever on how to, you know, how to grow your YouTube channel and stuff, everything's all about consistency. And it feels like no matter how hard I try, I just can't seem to be consistent because I put way too much. I don't say, okay, just get 1 video up a week, which I would be able to do. I say, no, I want to get 3 videos up a week, and I want to do this and I want to do that. And then it all just gets too big and I can't cope with it, and it's all stressful, and then I feel like I'm failing. It goes on and on. And then it says hyperactive behaviours, fidgety and restless, like a motor constantly running, jiggling legs and feet, clicking pens, tapping fingers on the table when seated for long periods of time. And then in that is difficulty sitting for long periods of time. So yeah, Simon always, like when we're watching a show or whatever, like I have to be eating or I'll be on my phone at the same time, or I get up and I get a drink, or I get up and I get another snack, or and I'm always jigging my legs, I'm always kind of moving, doing things. So I suppose in children that might actually look like them running around. I would kind of more look at myself as not being a high energy person, but I suppose because I'm always high energy, like moving, even if I'm not actually running around, that's that's kind of more how it looks in adults. Like as an adult, you learn that that's not how, you know, you don't function like that. Adults don't just run around and bounce off the walls. It comes out in other ways, which I wasn't aware of until I read this. So difficulty waiting in queues and being impatient. Talking constantly or too loudly and at the wrong times. Yes. And I think that this is one of the reasons why I have social anxiety, because I always feel like I don't know the right thing to say, or sometimes I can be a bit inappropriate. I can say inappropriate things because I don't have the filter. So, yeah, it was like, even as I'm reading it out again now, I'm like, it's kind of unbelievable that I didn't realise that before. Interrupting other people's conversations because you're unable to wait, or talking over the top of people, or finishing their sentences for them. Unfortunately, yes. I do that a lot. Difficulty shutting off a busy mind at night in order to get to sleep. Flitting from one activity to another, often without completing each activity. So I just said that to you before, when I clean the house and I'm this and I'm doing that. And I just go from thing to thing to thing, realising that I didn't actually do what I set out to do in the first place. Really frustrating. I do it a lot. And I think, how can I just not just do what I need to do? Like, I need to get this done. There's a deadline. I have to get it done. But it's just like, I just wander off and I'm doing... really frustrating. And then impulsive behaviours, which... Sorry, this is getting quite long, but I feel like it's important to go through each section if any of you guys are feeling like this could be something that you guys are dealing with. So impulsive behaviours, starting an activity without thinking through the consequences. Example, pulling apart a leaking tap just before visitors arrive and without replacement parts on hand. Starting a recipe without checking for ingredients. Yes, oh my God, this is so me. I always start, I'm like, right, I'm going to organise the Tupperware cupboard, you know, and then I pull everything out, and then Simon's like, what are you doing? You were meant to be putting the washing on, or you were supposed to just put this Tupperware away, and then it takes me, because I want to do it properly, it just seems to take forever, and then I can't ever get it done, so then the mess is there. Man, it drives Simon insane, it drives me insane. Blurting out hurtful comments to others without seeming to realise. Yeah, sometimes I do this, and I think that's why I also have a bit of social anxiety, because I never mean to hurt anyone's feelings, and I think sometimes I don't think through what I'm going to say, and I'm a very sensitive person, and the idea that sometimes I would hurt people, like sometimes my sister has had to pull me up, or Simon will pull me up and say, that was really hurtful what you said before. But I think because I'm always constantly talking and sometimes not thinking before I'm saying things, sometimes I don't realise that what I've said is hurtful. So I am quite good at apologising and everything though, which I know that some people aren't. So I definitely pull myself up on it if I notice it, or I'm lucky to have people around me who pull me up on it. So, but yeah, that's, yeah. Difficulty keeping secrets when asked. I have been known to do that. Difficulty tolerating boredom, opting for stimulating activities, 100%. Getting excited about something new, then losing interest all the time. All these ideas I've talked about, I'll be like, oh, that's so awesome, and I'll talk to everyone about it and say, I'm so excited about this, this is the best thing ever. And then next week I'm like not doing it anymore, and someone will ask me about it, I'm like, oh, that was ages ago, I'm not doing that anymore. Very annoying. Overeating and making poor food choices. I can, since becoming a mum, I probably eat a lot more junk than I did before, but I do tend to, it's more at night time when I'm bored I eat more, but when I'm stressed and busy I tend to kind of not eat, so yeah. Impulsive use of addictive substances such as smoking, alcohol, etc. No, I've never been a smoker. Not much into alcohol either, like more socially, but I do, like I have had addictions before, and I still kind of look at it as an addiction to like energy drinks and stuff. Yeah, I can have if I really like something, like I have to have it, like, and I'm like, yeah. It's actually embarrassing reading some of this stuff out and being like, yes, this is me, because I think sometimes when you're filming a video or like you're on your social media, you can not show a lot of this stuff. Like, it's really just surface and you kind of portray who you want to be. So this is actually pretty embarrassing to admit some of this stuff. Carelessly spending money on unnecessary items resulting in financial strain. I am an impulsive shopper, yes, yes. Are you going to say hi? You say hi. Difficulty resisting the stimulation of social media, internet, TV and gaming, especially at bedtime. Enough said, I think. Difficulty delaying rewards, wanting instant gratification. Yes. Committing to too many activities at once. Yes. I'm like, oh, I'm going to start up 3 YouTube channels, not just one. I've got my channel, the kids channel, our Peabody family vlogging channel. A lot of work, which I struggle with. And then all the other things that I want to do, eBay businesses, yeah. Yep, problem there. And then there's the emotional responses. So it said, some researchers believe that emotional regulation difficulties such as short-lived anger outbursts are a core feature of ADHD for many people who have this disorder, although these symptoms are not currently included in the diagnostic criteria. In addition to emotion regulation issues, ADHD can make life difficult and thus create secondary emotional problems. Emotional difficulties that are frequently associated with ADHD include feeling overwhelmed. I think I've said this a few times in the video. Low self-esteem, negative sense of self due to chronic feelings of underachievement. That is me. I feel like I'm nearly 30. What am I doing with my life? I haven't achieved things. All of that. Bouts of tearfulness or sadness when stress builds up. Feeling socially anxious due to regular social mistakes. And difficulty tolerating boredom or frustration, or anxiety about one's ability to complete a task, which in turn can lead to problems with procrastination and avoidance. So yeah, probably I would say 95%, if not more, of those symptoms I can relate to. It was pretty confronting, but also almost nice to read something that I was like, this sounds like me, and this getting a diagnosis could actually help me in moving forward rather than feeling like I'm always failing. And after doing a bit more research, I found that a lot of people that I look up to actually have adult ADHD. There's Justin Timberlake, Walt Disney, Einstein, like, so Albert Einstein that is, who else? Channing Tatum, Adam Levine from Maroon 5, like all these creative people who are amazing and have been amazingly successful in their lives have obviously gotten a hold of their ADHD, whether it's through medication or behavioural learning techniques, etc., etc. And they do say, oh, also Richard Branson, who is a billionaire. So, you know, they say a lot of CEOs of big companies and stuff because they can hyper-focus and yeah. So, yeah, it's not all bad. And I'm actually, yeah, excited to go to my appointment. I see the psychiatrist in a couple of weeks, so I'll be back to talk to you about how that appointment goes. And, yeah, if you feel like any of these symptoms apply to you, it might be worth talking to your general doctor. And, yeah, it wouldn't hurt. Let's go have some lunch, hey? So yeah, thanks so much for watching. Please be kind in the comments section. As I said, I'm not 100% sure if I do have it. It sounds like I do, but you never know. So anyway, thanks for watching and I'll see you in my next video, guys. Bye.